Right, for breakfast, I'm having plentifully lean blueberry pancakes, 1 egg, half cup egg whites, half of a tablespoon of peanut butter. I ended up having some blueberry compote and 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk for my breakfast, and this was very good. And then I ended up taking the kids after they went to chess to the park, and we had lunch. I had a tuna sandwich on Sara Lee bread and pop chips and apple and a Diet Dr. Pepper, and then we played for a bit on the playground, and it was just pure happiness sitting there watching them play and talking with my 15-year-old. I came home and got a little snacky and had a couple of cups of these corn puffs from Trader Joe's. My husband and sons left to go to a special meeting they have, the Trail Life meeting. So I'm at home, but I told one of my kids that I was going to be making this peach dump cake that I made for them before, and they really loved it. And what I did was I took 4 cans of peaches that were just in 100% fruit juice, and what I did was I would take those 4 cans, open them right up, and put them into a baking pan, and then I took this 0 sugar Moist Supreme Pillsbury cake and then just dumped the whole thing on top, and then used a little rubber spatula to push all of the mix into the juice, and then I cooked it according to the directions here, which was going to be about, 34 to 38 minutes at 325. And it came out absolutely spectacular, and we put Cool Whip on top of it, and it was just delicious, and everybody loved it. So I said I would make that. But I was looking at this, and I'm thinking Whole Foods again, right? I'm thinking I can't pronounce tons of the stuff that's in here, and this is a lot of process. So I'm thinking, okay, what I'll do is let me make a small one like that, because I don't want them really bummed out. And then I'm going to make one that's more whole food oriented, right? So I'll use 2 cans of peaches. So I'm going to make a small one here and a small one here. 2 cans of peaches. I'm going to make it the same way, but my batter here, instead of the cake mix, is going to be, I'm using whole wheat pastry flour. So I'm going to be using 3/4 cup of that, 1/3 cup of oat bran, 1/3 cup of a natural sugar, and I'm using this golden coconut sugar. It's pretty sweet. It's it's not ultra processed. And then 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and then I've got 3/4 cup here of, this is almond milk, and I added 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to it to make it more of a buttermilk flavor. All right, so I'm going to mix all of that up, and that is going to go poured on top of this. And then I'm going to cook both of these together. And I know that the kids are going to like that more because it's just ultra sweet. It's a whole different thing. But I want to see what this is going to be like, and I'm going to have 2 alternatives that we can try. All right, so you can see this is my whole food mix, and this is the cake mix. And it seems like it's about the same amount, only this one's much heavier. It's much more dense, the cake mix, and I still have to add the liquid to this one. So maybe that'll make it a little heavier, but I'm wondering if I should only add half of this. Let me add the liquid to this, and then we'll mix it up and put it over the peaches, and then we'll see. We'll add a little bit at a time of this one and figure out what we're going to do. Now, I have over here in my pan, I have the 2 peach cans in each one, and I didn't drain them. I put a little pumpkin pie spice on top just to give it a little more flavor. So I'm wondering if maybe this is too much liquid. This is going to be interesting because this is, the dry is going to go in here, and then the wet batter one will go in here, the whole food one. So I'm not sure how that's going to cook up. It might be too much liquid, so let's just wait and see. All right, so this is what the whole food one looks like, and you can see it's super watery here all the way around, so I'm not quite sure what that's going to do, if it's going to cook properly or what. But over here we have the cake mix, and I just kind of pour the cake mix on top of the peaches in their juice, and I push it down until it gets nice and wet, because if you don't do that, then you're gonna get like pieces that have like dry mix on it, and that doesn't look really good. But I have about, maybe I want to say 3/4 of a cup left, and I'm not going to put that in there. I think it's just too much. So I got most of the box in here though. So these are going to go in the oven at 325 for about 40 minutes, and then I'll check on them and see how they're doing. All right, I took my Daisy out for a bike ride while those were in the oven. All right, here they are just out of the oven at 40 minutes, and the one that's the whole food actually looks like it's done, and I stuck a little toothpick in, and it's pretty clean. I think this one, the cake mix, needs to go back in. It seems really, yeah, it seems like it needs to go back in for a while. I'm gonna give it like 10 more minutes and check. All right, so here they are, about 10 or 15 more minutes. We'll finish that one off. And they look quite different when they're done. So the one that comes out of the box is going to be 7 points per serving, and this would serve 8 people. So this, which are quite nice size servings. And the same over here, but this one is going to be 6 points per serving. And that's the whole food one. And I will put the simple recipe down below. Now I see a lot of liquid here, so I think it's going to be pretty moist when I don't know really what it's going to look like when I cut into it, but it sure smells good. All of it does. Now for dinner, I am making some tostadas, and I bought some of these corn tostada shells. Now normally I've stayed away from them in the past because they have to use oil to make them, and I didn't want that much, fat on them. I just wanted the tortillas. But 2 tostadas is 120 calories and 5 grams of fat, which isn't too bad. 17 grams of carbs, and that's for 2. I don't know if I'll have 2 or 1 tonight, but I plan on having fat-free beans on top, and then probably some corn from Trader Joe's, and lettuce and tomato. Not sure, maybe just a smattering of reduced fat cheese, and some avocado. And that's going to be what I have for dinner. Everybody else is going to put a little bit of the like ground turkey on theirs tonight. All right, let's do the money shot here. I am going to dip into this and see what it looks like. I think it looks too watery for sure. Oh my, ooh, that looks good though. Hold on a second. All right, so yes, it looks like it had way too much liquid in it, because look, it's in here like this. So I would have been better off draining these peaches on this side, but this one over here, I think, needed the liquid for the cake box to do this one. Ooh, it is very moist, very moist. This is pretty much how it looks though. It's a dump cake. There we go. So I'm going to take half of this and half of that because that's too big of a piece. And I'll put a little bit of Cool Whip Light on it. Okay, so yesterday I did end up with 33 points. A little bit more on the adding the dessert, because I added the dessert, and then also my snacking on the Trader Joe's puffs, which I realized when I went for them, sometimes you just want a little salty crunch, right, in the afternoon. And I realized this isn't a whole food, this is really processed. So now I'm looking for the things that are processed in my diet. Does it mean that I'm always going to go, no, I'm not gonna have that? Yes, I'm gonna have something unprocessed. Not always, but I'm going to be more conscious about it. And then one day I'll get closer and closer to going, you know what, let me make another choice here. So I'm at least very cognizant about what I'm doing, and so it gets easier and easier to make those replacements. So anyway, it did add up a little bit. The result, as far as like, did the guys like the cobblers or not? Could they tell the difference? They had not one complaint about either one. They loved them both. So I really did appreciate the natural sweetness of the whole food one. It's fun to do the other one, the cake box one. And yes, it is definitely good. It is a very heightened sweetness, but I think I'll probably end up trying to perfect that whole food one. And I think all you really need to do is just drain your peaches before putting it on top and baking it. It'll come out absolutely perfect, I think. And I think that like 38 to 40 minutes probably be enough for that. So anyway, I will type out the simple recipe for the whole food one down below. Also, the tostada shells. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Now, I had been avoiding buying them for a while just because I know that they're like fried in oils, and I don't like to add that as much as possible. The fat wasn't too awful. It was like 4.5, right, for 2 tostadas. So one is only going to be like 2 points, or not 2 points, 2 grams of fat, which isn't horrible. And I'm willing to take the hit on that. I just feel like, you know, in the past, I have tried to do what other people have done, which is take a corn tortilla and you put it in the oven and you bake it so that you don't add any fat to it, and then you use that as a shell. But for me, I really feel those are inedible. They come out super tough, and then when you do get a piece of them off, it's super hard on your teeth. I mean, you have to take like a couple of teeth out just to eat the tostada shell. I'm not willing to do that to my family. They're going to dread tostada night if I do that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy these shells. So if there's a better way to do it that you know of, let me know. That doesn't make it tough, right? All right, and then also I wanted to update you on sleep. We are getting better sleep. I think it's a bit of an adjustment though. Honey and I would take our phones, and I know this is a big no-no. Sleep is really important for weight loss. And we had been getting into the habit of watching a movie after the kids go to bed. When we go to bed, we take our phone and we catch up on videos and watch a movie, you know, or my husband would play a game or something. And it's just that screen that, you know, really feeds keeping you awake and keeping you unable to sleep. Still like maybe a couple of hours when you're on your way to bed, ready to sleep. So we have decided to no phones when we go to bed, just put them in the bed and go to sleep. And I think at first it was a little bit of an adjustment, but I think we're becoming more adjusted to it. My husband has been really working a lot lately, and so he's been getting up at like 3 in the morning and goes over to his office. His office is at home, thank goodness, and he doesn't have to commute, you know, and then start working. And if he's staying up late and then getting up that early, it started really playing a big role in his tiredness and his stress and all of that stuff. And so we made this decision to do that. Now, I have an aid to go to sleep. I take progesterone as a hormone, part of my replacement therapy for my hormones. And so it makes me sleepy. So I don't take that unless I know I'm going to be able to go to bed, because it'll make me drowsy and I'll just go right to sleep. I know not to take it if you take progesterone and you take anything that has like, I don't know, I tried to take it with NyQuil one time when I was sick, and I was worried that, it would make me too drowsy. But what happens is the alcohol in the NyQuil it obliterates the effect of the progesterone. Also, I can't have any caffeine, so no soda with caffeine in it after like 3 p.m. if I want my progesterone to make me drowsy. Otherwise, it will just, kind of like eliminate that drowsiness, and it'll be hard for me to get to sleep. Also, I know not to take Dimetap if I take progesterone. Now, that has a totally different effect. When I had a cold last, which was about a month ago or so, I took Dimetap because I didn't want to take NyQuil. I just wanted to get my head clear enough so I could sleep. I didn't want to have all the NyQuil-y feelings. And so I thought, oh, great, this is going to make my progesterone not work. Not so. Dimetap, like it made it double or something. It made me not know what I was saying. And I knew that if I took Dimetap and I had the progesterone, not to answer any emails or text or anything, because I didn't know what I was writing and I didn't know what I had written if I woke up. So I know not to do that. And then also I didn't know what I was saying. I went to bed one day and I had the Dimetap and the progesterone. And my honey was talking to me. So he said that I was talking to him about, those animal cookies, the circus animal cookies. I love those. But I never buy them, right, for good reason. And I was telling him how much I loved them and I wanted them. And now I didn't remember anything about this conversation until he told me the next day. So he told me during our conversation that he confessed to me that he had a special stash of animal cookies. He had them in the garage. And I thought, this is like new to me. I learn something new about this man all the time. So now he has a special stash of animal cookies, which I promise you I have not gotten into. But he confessed this to me while I was out of it. And I'm like, if you know anything about me and animal cookies and how much I love animal cookies, I'll just tell you this. Okay, I have a Pinterest board, and I think you can get there if you go to my channel page, and there's like a little Pinterest link up in the corner. And if you hit on that, it'll take you to my Pinterest boards. I have a board that's called Things I Will Eat Before I Die, right? And I have been adding things to that board for a few years. And it was just not long ago that I realized I was going through the board to see what do I have on here. When I realized, I'm talking probably hundreds of pins. Probably, I want to say like 99% of the things I pin on that board are cakes, right? Obviously, I feel like I need to eat cake before I go. And it must be my food of my dreams. I don't know. But one of the cakes that always stands out to me on that board is there's an circus animal cookie cake. Amazing, amazing. And I keep telling myself one day I'm going to make that if I'm well enough to make it before I go. So animal cookies are definitely very close to my heart. Don't ask me why. So no wonder I was talking in my sleep about that. Anyway, I thought I would just share that funny moment with you. I'm going to let you go for now. I hope you have a wonderful, marvelous Tuesday. So we'll see you soon. Bye. The dishes in our kitchen sink. Put you to bed when you've had too much to drink. Oh, I could be the man grows old.